Well, I know people are probably saying this all over the country, but there's a real tragedy for Vanderbilt, and the passing of Donnie Everett. I'd seen him pitch a little bit when he was in high school, just a phenomenal talent and a wonderful young man. And I know that our hearts go out to Vanderbilt and the Vanderbilt family and the family of the Everetts. And it's just it's a tragic thing when kids this age, those things happen. It's incredibly shocking, and I can't even imagine what Tim Corbin and Vanderbilt's going through. I want to thank our fans for coming out. I know 1:30 today was a challenge for folks who work for a living, which is most folks, and people who are in school. But it was we felt like it was the best decision for our kids and for our program. And boy, people showed up in droves, and I think that meant so much to our players, and just made one really great atmosphere. We went out today, and I don't think Dakota had his best stuff. I think that's pretty apparent. But I want to give credit to SEMO, because I think they had a pretty good approach against him, and I think they hit almost everything he threw up there. They got in fastball counts, and they hit fastball. So we got in slider counts, they hit slider. They hit his cut fastball. But Dakota never gave up, and he kept battling for us, and he had a little help in the bullpen today. They were really left-handed, and we knew Rigby would come in and be able to get us ground balls, which is what we wanted, and certainly Daniel Brown here just really dominant performance against a very good lineup. This is a club that's hitting over 310, 314, something like that in that area, and that's not by accident. You look at their lineup, they have seniors and juniors and guys who've been through it all, and they just competed their tails off. So hats off to those guys, and they're certainly not done in this tournament. We could see them again, and they have a really good club. Their left-hander, I just want to mention, I think he was just a warrior. I mean, if you look at this sequence of events with their left-hander who went out there today, Lucchese, he threw 119 last Friday. He threw 35, I think, on Sunday to help them win the championship in the Ohio Valley. He pitches his tail off today, gets hit in the shin with a ball with a line drive, and keeps battling and battling and battling. Our hats off to him. He was phenomenal today. But it was huge for us to be able to get him out of the baseball game. That was one of our goals, and I think it was a turning point in the game.
Questions for student athletes?
Brent, on that second home run, what's going through your mind when the ball's in there? Did you feel like it had a chance? And when did you know that it had gone over the fence?
Yeah, I was talking to Robbie on deck before I went up there, and we both kind of thought that he was going to try to flip a breaking ball over to get strike one on me. So I was sitting it, and I was able to put a good swing on it and find a barrel. And when it comes off, I knew I hit it well. But going to that part of the park, in Duty Noble, the ball didn't. I mean, it's a big park. Ball didn't really fly that well. So I think the wind helped me out a little bit. But I actually thought he caught it rounding first base, and then I was pretty excited when I realized it went over his head. But I mean, I was up there looking for something up in the zone. I put a good swing on it, and happened to hit it in the right spot on the bat.
Brent, Ben Wake, Commercial Dispatch, trailed for most of that game, especially early on. What was the mood like in the dugout, and how did y'all feel being behind early on in the ball game?
Yeah, that's one of our strengths as a team is, we've had some times throughout the year where we've been down early, and we never get uncomfortable. We never get, sped up. We stay within our game plan, and we know that we're talented enough, our bullpen's good enough, our hitters are good enough that we're going to battle back and, be able to compete to the last out, and we did that. We were able to get a lead, and Daniel did an unbelievable job holding them. But, we've done that all year. We've gotten down early and then just fought back and been able to get wins late. So I think that's one of the strengths as a whole as our team.
Danny Smith, Starkville Daily News. Dan, you can respond to this. Brent, too, if you feel like. Just what did the atmosphere, people coming out on 1:30 on a Friday, do for the morale of the team and what y'all were able to do today?
Yeah, it was real nice, really good turnout by all our fans. I think we thank them very much. They were really involved in the game with their pitcher, trying to rattle them a little bit. And, it was great to, it was a little hot, so it was great to see a great turnout and just have all the Dog fans behind us.
I think we gave some people an excuse to leave work early, so they might thank us a little bit too.
Brent, Mike Bonner from the Clarion Ledger. On that second home run, what gave you and Jacob the idea that a curveball may be coming?
Well, the first at bat, he just threw me 3 fastballs, and I was able to put a good swing on one of the fastballs he threw me that was kind of out over the plate a little bit. And then he had been throwing the breaking ball more than his changeup. We thought coming in he was going to throw a lot of changeups early on. He stuck to his breaking ball a little bit more, even to righties. He was throwing that early, trying to just kind of steal a strike. So I figured he wasn't going to come back fastball, and he hadn't shown changeup enough for me to look for it yet. So I just thought he was probably going to try to get backdoor breaking ball, just kind of flip one over and get strike one. So that's kind of where that came from.
Down front.
Daniel Easton Colvin with 24/7 Sports came in 3 hitless innings. What was working for you out there?
Jack just told me, fill up the zone, trust the defense, as we've done all year. So I just really wanted to attack with my best stuff, just from top to bottom of the lineup, because they have such a good lineup. And Jack was able to just keep me in the zone, and then the defense made good plays for me, and then so I just kept working at that.
Bob Carscad, HailState.com. Brent, I know you mentioned when you were rounding first, you thought it was going to be caught. As many as you've had robbed this year, I don't know if you can remember actually what the number is for how many you have had robbed, but how much of a relief was that, and how excited were you to finally get that one over in a moment like this?
Right. It was really similar to a ball I hit against Texas A&M on Saturday, I think. Saturday or Sunday, one of the two. I hit it to the same part of the park, and it kind of felt the same coming off the bat, and that one ended up getting caught at about the same spot of the fence. But the wind was blowing in a little bit that day, and I think the wind kind of changed directions and was blowing out a little bit today, which is kind of what gave it the extra oomph to get over the fence. But, like I said, I was excited. It was a big moment in the game. Anytime you can come up with a big hit, you get happy. So I was excited when I saw it go over.
Daniel Slim Smith from the Commercial Dispatch. This ball club is very patient at the plate. They're very selective. They walk a ton. Did you feel like there was a point where you got them to expand the zone a little bit?
I felt like they kind of stayed with their same approach against me the whole game. We preach strike one here, so I just really want to attack strike one and try to go ahead and get them in that quick hole to where they maybe would chase late, to where if they're ahead in the count, then they're spitting on everything. So, Jack had a good plan behind the plate of pitches on where to go and stuff, and we followed that. And, I think they kept just lining up good at bats, and we were just able to get them out.
One final question for the student athletes.
Brent, Tyler Grieber from WJTV. Joey had mentioned that he was starting to get a little bit tired as you wore into the 5th and the 6th inning. Did you guys sense that in his approach on the mound, that you were starting to wear on him as the game went on?
Yeah, I mean, like Coach Cohen said, he had thrown a lot of pitches last weekend, and the caliber and the quality of his stuff is, from a left-handed standpoint, some of the best we've seen. He's a really good arm, a really talented pitcher. And, we knew as we kind of got deeper in the game, it was hot, pitchers tire, and he had thrown so many pitches that last weekend that we were probably – his stuff was going to decrease as we got in the game. So, we were up there just trying to work counts, trying to grind it out, and I think it paid off for us. We stuck to our approach, and, like I said, we were later in the game, we were able to get some pitches to hit, and we put good swings on them. So I think our game plan paid off.